Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is TPIM SR Live. I'm about ready to, as you see, do a little cooking. Do a little Friday night cookout or whatnot, right? Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. I know I haven't been doing a lot of shows lately. Extremely fucking busy, dude. Been taking down trees here at the old homestead, building side jobs, living life in general, it just is. I just have, you know what I mean? Cheers, by the way. And today, I just got home. I'm going to cook me some little bit of chicken and just sit back and, God, I wish you guys could see the pumpkin patch. It's really come together down there. This, talk about, I guess, things kind of like that's been going on that the news hasn't really been reporting on. How deadly will the second wave infections really be? There's a whole host of things. But before I do that, let me get some charcoal on. I still had some in there from the other night. I'll tell you what, this little pit worked out great. Let's get some, okay, so here's the deal, man. Out there in outer space, in the sky, apparently, deals are being made. Who knew human flesh was so valuable? But it is, apparently. Hold on. I wish I had like another phone. I could have people call in. Be like a call-in line or something, you know? Hold on, let me there. That should, I think that would be, that should be a little bit better, huh? See the food, see the pit. I wish I had like a call-in line. I can call people up. They call me up right now. Cause I'm telling you what, I'm about tired of doing the same old. Woe is me. Oh my God, it's so scary. World bullshit. Oh, and you guys should be tired of it too. I mean, fuck. This year's almost over with, y'all. The year is almost gone. And no one's the better for it. What I'm ultimately saying is just love the people that you have in your life now. If you don't have nobody, find somebody, love them. Experience all the happiness and joy you possibly can. Because the hammer's going to strike again. They keep tapping us with it little by little. Bit, bit, bit. The next one's going to be bam! Come on, let's keep score. You tell everybody to stay in the house. Check. You tell everybody to get vaccinated. Check. You tell everybody to stop using cash. You better start using credit cards. Check. If this was an achievement test for the new world order, the new liberal world order, or the evil world order, whatever, you should almost be seeing the questions right now. How do you take a free population and subjugate them into mindless wage slaves? U.S. History 101. That's basically where we're at. I'm sad. I don't want it to be like this, y'all. I don't want so many people out there to have to suffer. Just so that the few can live high on the hog. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's relatively sad. And I just don't know what to say. I really don't. I just don't know what to say. Hold on. I want to put this on the fire for a second. I gotta do something real quick. Just watch the fire. We pour out this for all the fallen people that we loved. Just a little, not much. In fact, hold on, let me just put a cap in here. This is in remembrance for all our loved ones. All right. We got to remember the ancestors, yeah. We got to remember them. You know, if homeboy Shay was around, he'd come through and get in on something. We fixing to eat up in here. Woo! Yes, I like fire. It's warm. It's wholesome. Now, what I was talking about as far as, well, hold on. Can I shoot you guys up to the sky just for a second? All right, hold on. I'm going to shoot you guys up to the sky. There it is. Up there, about right in there. Probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 trillion light years away. There's a fucking little planet. And apparently, that is the power. The ancestors left that fucking area to escape it. But we made our own form of it here with government. We ain't supposed to be living like this. That's why everything's so whacked out. But that's just what I've heard through my discussions. Let's put it back down here on the fire. You know, my whole thing is, I can already tell you the end is coming. You know why? Because we got a confidential informant in Israel talking about that new temple. All right. That temple. Listen, this shit don't even matter, y'all. All the little wars, all the little plagues, all the little famine. Because think about what America's going through right now, the United States. We went through civil unrest. Now we're going through a pandemic. Then we're going to be going through a what? Famine. Hold on, what are y'all saying? I'm going to, hold on. Then we're going through a famine. Peace and power. Brother Nick. You know, we got, hopefully you're still doing those reports in the sky. Now, I'm back here. I'm reading the comments. Brother Marty, peace and power. Mongo, welcome to the show. Peace. And is that Sister? Hold on. Yes, infinite love. Sister Love, peace and power. Welcome to the show. I got some food in there. We're going to throw a little meat over here on the grill. Oh, shit. We're going to throw a little meat on the grill there. And we're going to call it good. I cannot wait to show you guys the pumpkin patch. I cannot wait. It is going to be on fire. What the heck? I have to check out that channel. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me go and get. I wonder if I could get the tablet. If I could get the tablet, then I could put the tablet. I could roll one of Nick's videos. Because look, y'all, hold on. I want to show you guys something real quick. Look up here to the sky. Not a damn chemtrail in the sky today. Look how clear that fucking bitch is. Not a fucking chemtrail in the sky. I mean, straight up. We can go straight up with it. Go all the way around. No chemtrails. You know? Activity, it seems like ever since the little pandemic happened, you know what I mean? Because I've been coming out here on Studio D every night. Every night I come out here, I have a drink, I look at the stars, I think about things. It's a nice little chill meditation spot. You know what I'm saying? So, well, what happened was I forgot where I was going at with that. Yeah, I really did. That truck messed me up. Hold on, I can show you guys these plants though. I don't know if you guys remember those from last year. The hollylocks, they're gonna get huge as hell. Then I got like basil and thyme, strawberries coming in down there. I just harvest all my mints, and then I even got a baby little lavender over there now. Oh man, you should see the front. It is just crazy. Hold on. Oh yeah, this is my centinela. Man, that plant is so fucking beautiful. All right, hold on. I gotta go and grab the meat. I know this thing's probably not hot enough, but I'm mighty hungry. Hold on. Yeah, I was gonna play some music, but decided to do a live show instead. Okay. Yeah, there's some heat coming out of there. Let me do one more switcheroo. Look at that. It's not even lighting up. Yeah, I don't have hair on my arms, so I gotta do this shit smart. I'll go and get some meat. Throw this shit on. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. This is where I was standing at one night. And basically, like to my left and up in the sky, I saw like it had been 40, 50 balls of light flying in a straight line. And it looked like they were about 6 inches apart from, like my perspective. If you like had 6 inches, you put it up in your face, and that's like how far apart they were. My wife and children seen them fighting up there in the sky when I was a kid over there, next house over. We were camping out, and I saw a spaceship in the sky. Brother Al, peace and power. Canada has banned semi-assault weapons from students. America is going to follow next. Life as we know it. Well, they can ban them all they want. But you ain't gonna, there's just too many out there, brother. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about no guns, brother. Don't worry about that. Project Blue Light Project. Well, I know about Blue Beam Project to basically use the blue-eyed Jesus hologram on the people. But like I said, until you see them put that little temple up, now when they put the temple up, it's over. Okay. Woo. The third temple. As long as it's okay, that's somewhat steady. As long as that temple that's going to be built, man, that's the catalyst. And you're like, well, dude, that's just the Zionist deal. Think about it. What group haven't really heard nothing about in the news lately? And what group do you think got a lot of power now? And their affiliate members, their goons? JBS, John Birch Society. Look them up, kiddos. Look up John Birch Society. Look at some of their membership. Look at where their membership is placed throughout the administration, and look who's getting fucking power. Look who's the target of the fucking virus bullshit. China. Well, who's the enemy of JBS? China. Oh, well, oh, how coincidental. Well, y'all ain't seen shit yet. Y'all keep on playing these games, man. That's what I'm saying. You better pour yourself something. Have a drink with me. Because this about to get fucked up. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yeah, I got like 2 of these pants that I gotta do, at least. I just do chicken, nothing crazy. It's a little country cooking. You out here got a little chicken wing. You know what? That's not gonna work. I gotta get another one from the house. Put these wings down. Normally, I put them down like that, but the wing always goes up in there. Hot spots on this grill. I can feel the hot spots. Woof. Got it in a second. All right, let's close this fucker down. Open that. Open this. I would show you guys the sunset, but it already happened. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. Hold on, I gotta hook up the Bluetooth. We're gonna play some. I'm gonna do the show like kind of I would normally do. Oh no. Come on, connect to that. It should be pairing up. Hold on. We'll bring this thing in and down. So I want you to be able to hear it. If I did a camera swap, I should be able to see your whatchamacallit, your comments. Hold on. Believe it or not, I found 2 like Mark from Anaheim videos unreleased. I'm gonna put them up on the Patreon. They're like about hour, 2 hour a piece. I was going through all my shit and I found them. I'm like, what the hell? All right, let me go to area. Hold on. That's it. I know. You hear that bird? He ain't gonna be hearing much longer because the tree he's sitting on is slated for deletion. But he's chilling for now. Okay. I think we got next. I think we got him. Okay. Nick, is that you now? Fuck it. We're just gonna do no more excuses. Hold on.
Powering off.
I don't know why that powered off. Should be connected.
Powering on. Ready to pair. Pair.
There. Yeah, this is like kind of weird. Trying to have a cell phone record a tablet. Copyright infringement. And you see it's me doing it. We're gonna see what Nick's been up to. He normally has really good reports, especially about the sky activity. Well, I'll be right back anyway. I have to I need to get something. That's weird. How can that is really what's going on here? How come this isn't playing? Pretty odd. Hold on. I went to Nick's website. Now my tablet doesn't even want to work. I swear, if that wasn't tape, nobody would believe that would even happen. Let me see if we can go to another one next. Easy to watch videos. We're gonna let this thing do its thing. I'll be right back. didn't work. I was only gonna try to see if it was gonna work anyways. So it didn't. That's unfortunate. Let's see what we got going here. Oops. A lot of it. Doesn't even really be turned yet. Look at those grill marks. I don't really like burnt chicken, so I turn my chicken a lot. But it's not like cooking for a bunch of good friends. Now, come on, let's get this. I want to see what Brother Nick's been talking about. I haven't had time to see anything lately. I might have to put it this way. I don't know. I don't want to play this video for nothing. Well, Brother Nick, hopefully all's well with you. I haven't seen any of your shows in a minute. I haven't really been on. And as you can see and tell, this thing's probably lagging. The third one. Look, I'm going back. No, I'm going to show you what's going on. So everyone know I ain't bullshit. I click on his deal, right? I'll go to this one, right? It's only 6 minutes. I'm going to click it. I guarantee it, it's not going to play. Oh, it is. Wow. Wait. Hold on. We're going to let it buffer for a second. Because it's not, hold that thought. I'll be right back with something. Yeah. We're just going to kind of do this old school style. Hopefully it'll fix the audio issue and maybe give me a little more battery life. See how this works.
Examine it. Just take a look at this. Now, it came from like this side of like the frame of the screen, but you can tell, particularly like this right here, this little white spectacle. Because that's when I had zoomed in on the moon in like the last video, but like it's so fast, like I didn't see it like while I was taking the video, but like I'm saying, upon review, and once again, good eye, brother is. But you see, yeah, a ship. I mean, it's not a bird because birds don't fly that fast. I mean, you can make out like what a bird looks like, the outline, everything. This thing doesn't even cast a shadow. The fact that the sun is right there doesn't cast a shadow down on the rooftop right there. But yeah, I'll play it, but you'll see it's pretty. Here, I'm gonna zoom back a little bit. We'll play it from here. Play it from 320. Right here. We'll play it from there, and you'll be able to see it. Train itself. Another one. Unwinnable. It's basically to the point where you're basically fighting and losing war every time. And we are nature. You see, we are not right at the 333 mark or 332 mark. I'm going to wind it back. Take it back to 328, 29, then 30. And we are, and see, it comes from this side right here. Maybe I missed it, but yeah, you zoom in for a full view, but you see it just dart across the screen. We are, see, I got it. I got it because it's so hard to catch it like right at the right moment. But you see, it's underneath the sun. So I want to screenshot that and show y'all a more enhanced picture of it.
Right there.
Yeah, you are able. Yeah, this is a ship. I don't know what else it could possibly be, logically speaking, but yeah, good eye. Thanks again, Brother Riz, because I know I did not see this until now, but you're able to like see it. Like I zoomed in as far as I could to the moon in this particular frame of the video, but I'm gonna draw on it real quick. But this is what I'm talking about right here. I'm talking about this particular object right there. Yeah. Yeah. So just like it was so fast, but it's like from my point of view, well, because I zoomed in like maximum zoom from my camera, but that thing was pretty small, so there was no way I could actually catch it with my naked eye. But thanks to my camera and thanks to Brother Riz, it's like wow, good eye though. But yeah, pretty much basically yeah, a lot of activity today in our skies.
Remember when I had on John Leary? He said that there will actually be spaceships coming from the fucking moon down. All right. The Federation, Intergalactic Federation, same kick, same gap. There are ships finally at stars out. Check this out, y'all. Oh no. Oh no, that was it's the stars will even come in. It might. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot more activity than you think happening. Look at this shit. This is almost restaurant quality. Hold on. Y'all can see this night all night. Look at this. Perfect grill. Oh. Thought that was a chicken, didn't you? Look at that. See if I have some grill lines on that yet? No. All right. So I need to fire this a little bit hot. I'll just leave it open for a minute. Got plenty of fuel in the fire. Everything's still staying nice and moist. That's what you really want. It's not about how fast we get there. It's about once we get there, it's right. And this shit should be righteous. It smells great. All right. Back to Brother Nick.
Whether it's like an organic ship or a metallic ship, I would have to do further examination on it and enhance the picture. Basically, just do what I can do. Possibly a saucer the way how flat it is, because look, you're able to pick it up as far as you see the sunlight bouncing on the top surface of it. So because there's sunlight bouncing on it, you can tell that that's the top part. Underneath it, you can't see it because.
Thank you, Nick. It's motivated me. International Monetary Fund. Who owns it? This is something I think you all probably want to check out.
On June 30th, 2015, Greece missed a major loan repayment deadline to the International Monetary Fund. The IMF provided 32 billion euros in emergency loans to keep the Greek economy from collapsing. So why did the IMF take a risk on such an unstable economy? And what exactly is the IMF? The IMF was created alongside the World Bank in 1945 as overlapping finance arms of the United Nations. The World Bank focuses on financing and investing in developing countries, as well as eliminating poverty. The IMF primarily monitors exchange rates, stabilizes international monetary systems, and fosters global financial cooperation. Since World War II, the world's economies have become interdependent on each other through trade and investment. While this helps strengthen the global financial system, it also creates weaknesses in the economic chain. When an unforeseeable crisis, like a recession or natural disaster, destabilizes one nation's economy, that can severely affect dependent countries. The balancing force of the IMF prevents any potential domino effect in collapsing economies. The IMF is one of several global banks that provides loans to troubled economies to promote a stable world economy. The IMF and its sister organization, the World Bank, tend to serve more Western interests, like the US and the EU, while other global banks, like the New Development Bank and the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, serve Chinese and Russian interests more. In total, the IMF has 188 member states. After the global financial crisis of 2008, African countries were hit hard. The demand for imported goods from Africa declined, and international growth rates slowed. In response, the IMF proactively made billions of dollars available to places like Ghana at extremely low interest rates. With this support, Ghana's growth rate increased to over 9% in 2011 and remains one of Africa's frontier emerging markets. Currently, the IMF's biggest borrowers are Portugal, Greece, Ireland, and Ukraine. The IMF also gives precautionary loans as a sort of preventative measure before things get too bad. Receivers of precautionary loans include Mexico, Poland, Colombia, and Morocco. Despite their support, the IMF has been widely criticized for allowing disparate levels of influence. This is because member nations which invest more money in the IMF get more voting rights. The US comprises nearly a fifth of all available votes because they are the largest contributor. Additionally, since the IMF is somewhat of a last resort, countries in trouble have no choice but to agree to significant austerity measures that may not necessarily be in their best interests or agree with their ideologies. While the IMF is a powerful force within the world economic balance, it also openly serves the interests of its member countries. With so much influence in the political policies of struggling countries, it is dangerous to try and treat domestic problems with simple cash infusions and austerity measures. However, without it, countries like Greece may face worse alternatives. If Greece leaves the Eurozone over money woes, it would be devastating to all of Europe. The European Union is also at risk after Greece's refusal to accept a bailout. To learn more about the future of the EU, check out our video here now.
But the 2008 recession put a huge damper on the EU's success. For the last decade or so, Greece, Italy, Spain.
This is pre-pandemic, yeah. Some of those names, Portugal, as we all know, is the only nation in the world where all drugs are legal. Yet they have to get money from the IMF. Very dangerous world, very dangerous situation. People aren't taking it seriously, but they will. Hold on.
Remember Live Aid in 1985, that symbol of concern and generosity? Did you know that during that year, the hungriest countries in Africa gave twice as much money to us in the developed world as we gave to them? There was another famine last year. Perhaps you were one of those who took part in Red Nose Day. Did you know that before that day was over, the equivalent of all the money that Comic Relief had raised in Britain, about £12 million, had come back to the rich countries? For every day, this amount by the poorest to the rich has interest payments on loans that most of them never asked for or knew existed. In other words, contrary to a myth long popular in the West, it's been the poor of the world who've financed the rich, not the other way round. And this film sets out to explain why. It's also a film about war. A war you don't see on your television screens, for it's seldom news. It's been described as a silent war. Instead of soldiers dying, there are children dying. More than 500,000 in 1 year, according to the United Nations. That's more than twice the number of dead in the Gulf War. Instead of the bombing of bridges, there's the tearing down of forests and other natural resources, the bulldozing of farmland, and the running down of schools and hospitals. In many ways, it's like a colonial war. The difference is that...
Stop. The difference is there is no difference. It is a colonial war. And if he would interject the right adjectives, it would be quite obvious who he is describing as the oppressor. And it would be quite obvious who he is describing as the oppressed. And that's the same oppressed group you'll find in North America, Asia, Asia Minor, Europe, South America, Antarctica, Australia, Kemet. This is a global endeavor that has been perpetrated on the world, executed through the use of organized religion, secret societies, monetary systems, governmental rule, and law. And this is the shit cake we have. Voila. Welcome to Earth. Now I'm going to allow this man to continue, but I'm going to stop him when he gets off track. Let's go.
Days, people and the resources are controlled not by viceroys and occupying armies, but by other, more sophisticated means, of which the principal weapon is debt.
There are no bullets, but it's a war in which people are dying.
You don't say.
War and debt are exactly the same thing, except for one point, which is that nobody needs to occupy territory today.
In the 1980s, the World Bank and IMF and the US government and the British government would say to developing countries, you cut government, you increase exports, you privatize, or you won't get new loans.
Belt tightening is what it's called. What you do is tighten those notches that are easiest to pull. Those notches that affect children, that affect poor people, that affect people who have no power in a political system.
Part of the design of structural adjustment programs, that's what these policies are called, is to drive down real wages.
The 1980s have been a lost decade for development. The brunt has been borne by the most vulnerable groups, children or mothers with young children.
To understand the debt question, one has to understand first that what is taking place today is the greatest transfer of public wealth to private hands in the history of this earth.
The process of coercing most of humanity into debt as a means of controlling their resources, their labor, and their governments began almost half a century ago. It was not called colonialism. That was a term made defunct by World War II. There were new, hopeful euphemisms. Indeed, this was the beginning of what President Bush now calls the New World Order.
At Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, delegates from 44 allied and associate countries arrived for the opening of the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference. Invited by President Roosevelt, they will work in the seclusion of this White Mountains resort.
Along with the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank was set up at the Bretton Woods Conference in America in 1944. The bank's aim was to finance the reconstruction of Europe, then to develop the Third World. It was decided the headquarters would be in Washington, and the president would come from the country with the largest shareholding. And of course, the United States is the largest shareholder. The World Bank operates under great secrecy and limited accountability. Every World Bank official is granted immunity from legal action anywhere in the world.
Summing up the importance of Bretton Woods, Mr. Vinson says,
Ours is a mission of peace, designed to establish the economic foundations of peace on the bedrock of genuine international cooperation.
What this idealism really meant was spelt out in the charter they were signing: to promote private foreign investment by means of guarantees or loans made by private investors.
The World Bank has always been deceptive about its role in the international economy. It attempts to portray itself as an institution looking out for the interests of not only poor countries, but for poor people within those countries. That has never been the case. The bank is pushing the interest or promoting the interest of countries in the first world and for an elite sector in the third world. That was true in the 1970s. It is particularly true in the 1980s.
What became known as the debt crisis got underway in the early 1980s. However, it was a minor crisis for the banks compared with the catastrophe facing the peoples of poor countries. The world's oldest human rights organization, the Anti-Slavery Society, has declared debt a contemporary form of slavery. Nowhere is this more vividly demonstrated than here in the Philippines, where 44% of the national budget is given to paying interest charges to foreign banks, compared with just 3% for health services. Moreover, billions of dollars continue to leave this country just to meet the interest on money borrowed by the dictator Ferdinand Marcos in deals that were often secret and fraudulent. There is perhaps no greater example of the burden of debt than one notorious project in the Philippines. It sits on Bataan Peninsula and is potentially as dangerous as Chernobyl. Built less than 60 miles from the city of Manila on 3 earthquake faults near 2 live volcanoes, one of which recently erupted, this is the Bataan Nuclear Power Station. In the Philippines, it's known as the Big Scam. The scam almost certainly began here, at the Wack Wack Golf Club in Manila, where Ferdinand Marcos used to play with his cousin and chief crony, Herminio Dicini. In 1974, the American company General Electric applied to build the Bataan Nuclear Power Station, but Dicini urged his pal Marcos to accept the highest bidder, the Westinghouse Company. Moreover, the deal would be underwritten by the American government through the Export-Import Bank and a clutch of private American banks. Everybody would make a buck, except the Filipino people. By 1977, President Carter had stopped the building of nuclear power plants because of their inefficiency and faulty design. But he did nothing to stop the same plants being built in third world countries like the Philippines. Moreover, the State Department, which had to approve Westinghouse's export license, knew the Bataan Power Station was to be built in an earthquake zone, but still it was encouraged to go ahead.
To make the story even more dubious, the U.S. government enters it. William Casey, later the director of the CIA, then head of the Export-Import Bank, an agency which helps U.S. businesses overseas by providing loans and loan guarantees. Casey goes to Manila. Casey comes back, recommends that the U.S. government, through this Export-Import Bank, give an initial loan. That opens the gate for all these other banks to come in and give loans. And they start building. Westinghouse at this time does the usual thing. You have delays, you have problems. The price goes up and up and up. First to 1.1 billion, finally to 2.2 billion. Some estimate that the final cost to the Philippines will be $2.6 billion. So you have a $2.6 billion fiasco that will never produce 1 watt of electricity, which now the Filipino people have to repay.
When Marcos was overthrown in 1986, President Aquino declared the Bataan Power Station unsafe, and it was closed forever. At the same time, her government began legal action in the United States against Westinghouse. Last year, the American judge found ample evidence of bribery. On the day before the case was due to be heard in March, it was settled out of court. Westinghouse agreed to pay the Philippines $100 million. But remarkably, the Aquino government agreed to give Westinghouse $400 million just to make the power station work, regardless of its position in an earthquake zone. And this $400 million will be borrowed from the same American Export-Import Bank and will have to be repaid by the Filipino people, most of whom live in poverty.
The World Bank and IMF that pride themselves in being institutions that are helping deal with the debt crisis were being used by a third world president actually for his own internal economic gain, in that it was allowing him to continue to serve.
Fuck what these clowns are talking about. Let me hip you guys to what was really going down. They wanted that plant in the earthquake zone for a reason. There's too many Filipinos. They'll make a quick buck clandestine style. And the beautiful part about it, they'll cause human tragedy and casualties. And they can throw their hands, well, we didn't know. We didn't have a clue. This was an accident, like Fukushima. Who put that there knew there would be a typhoon or a tsunami coming through sooner or later. They knew it. Nope. Build it anyhow. Too many Japanese. Let's continue.
Commercial bank debts without getting into trouble, continue to get new loans in, from which again he would take whatever 1% or 1.5% and continue to enrich himself.
When Cory Aquino was swept to power, she described the Philippines as a land of broken promises. Her promise to the Filipino people was that they would be the beneficiaries of their civilized uprising against Marcos. I will vigorously renegotiate the terms of our foreign debt. But in the end, she gave priority to paying off the banks. Poverty now stands at 70% of the population, a rise of more than 10% since she came to power. A Big Mac is not for the poor. As the debt is paid back at a rate of more than $6 million a day, the rich, like the elites in all detonations, increasingly rely on private armies to protect their shopping malls, their homes, and their interests. According to Amnesty International, political killings carried out by the government and government-backed forces in violation of the law have become the most serious human rights problem in the Philippines. This is a country abundant in food, but food does not pay back.
Now you understand how the president of the Philippines can pop people. That he, even when the pandemic's kicked off, you better stay inside. If you come outside, you start trouble, you get shot. The Philippines aren't playing. These people have been oppressed, colonized, brutalized. But they're probably not going to get reparations either. So let's just continue.
Or encourage foreign investors, and so agriculture and a whole way of life is being structurally adjusted. This is the Calabazon Super Project, turning food-growing land into factories for export production. Funded largely by Japan, it is the kind of so-called reform demanded by the IMF. The new factories will produce new revenue and profits for foreigners. They will also produce new debt for the Philippines.
And that's a great spot to end it on. As I wrap it up back here, the stars are finally coming out. I don't know if you guys can see them just yet. Probably. Yeah, you can. You see it now. That one right there. It's been out for it's actually not a star, it's probably a planet, but it's been out for a while. It's beautiful. It's huge. There's going to be a bunch more pop out. This is actually a really nice little chill spot for real. And, just do the best quarantine you can do. Don't go nuts. Don't go crazy. Make sure you have supplies, man. Get rice. Get I'm talking about at this point, forget the ideal situation. Forget it. Just let it go. I'm talking about something just to get you through. Stay away from the pork products, guys. Stay away from it. Too many sick workers. Mess around with them pork chops. Mess you up. And brats and really everything we think about. Bacon, pork shoulders, obviously pork chops, pork steaks, any type of pork sausage. This is the time in which you should have been getting the best equipment to be self-sufficient. I mean, the best well, the best piping, best generators. But, it's not going to be pretty, but it will be. All right. Well, this will conclude TPIM SR Live for today. Thank you for watching. Live your life of integrity without hate, envy, or greed. And as always, brothers and sisters, please, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect. Liberation. I'm out.